Welcome to Daily Race B. That's me. For this race I'm on my GB account to mix it up with the Europeans. Race B is Group 3 cars at Trial Mountain, but in reverse. For drivers rated I'm currently a lower B, but there are some very quick qualifying times in this lobby. I myself qualified in 5th. Let's go racing! Into the first 2 corners there are a few bumps but nothing malicious, and everyone makes it through fairly cleanly. I tried to take advantage of good giant bumping GTR and we are side by side out of turn 2. I get the inside line for the critical turn 4 and I pull into 4th. But it is short lived as GTR gets the next inside and I drop back to 5th. The right-hander into the uphill straight is critical for the Renault RS01. It's a nimble car, but the 911 RSR appears to have more initial pull and tends to be faster up the hill. My only hope is to nail the corner and rely upon aerodynamic pull to stay in touch. I slot behind, and it works. I maintain the gap up the hill between us, setting myself up for the next corner. I stay incredibly tight, perhaps too tight through the corner, but I survive and put pressure on the 911. The RS01 is quick through here, and this is where I feel I am being slowed up. But with the curves it's not a safe place to try to pass unless someone makes a mistake, but currently no one ahead of me does. I get side by side in the tunnel, but not enough to feel safe for the fast corners coming up. So again, I slot behind, biding my time. Lap 1 complete and I am still in 5th. The next few corners are cleaned without drama, with each car holding its position. I'm still being held up by the 911 in the corners, but at the bottom of the hill they go wide and I get the jump into 4th. Now if only I can hold that up the hill. Nope, they get the toe and get the inside. I should have defended more aggressively in the middle of the track to force them on the outside. GTR passes on the inside but brakes hard or bumps Forest in P3. That causes me to bump GTR, that then accelerates him past Forest, slowing me, causing Steve Boo to then bump me. We're like a set of pool balls bouncing off each other. The victor through all that was GTR, and I'm back to 5th. Lap 3, still in 5th. GTR loses it in turn 1 and Forest regains P3 and we're 3 wide coming out of turn 2. Gaining a repeat of lap 1, I take the inside at turn 4 to take P4, but GTR retakes it on the inside at turn 5. Deja vu. But GTR overcooks it and takes himself out by saying hello to the barrier. I'm back to P4, but there is a pack behind me, so I have to nail the right-hander into the uphill. I do. It's about as perfect as it gets for the RS01. That gives me the speed to keep the pack at bay. Last lap, up to P4. I've managed to pull away from the pack and no longer feel threatened by them. I focus on Forrest in front of me, as in the curves at the end of lap 3, he picked up a half-second penalty. I know that P3 is mine for the taking as long as I am on his tail at the penalty boards. I am, and I get P3. Forrest does not lose much time though and remains on my tail. I need a perfect finish now to hold that spot to the end. I can't mess up. I put in a qualifying time level of performance once I get a clean track ahead of me. I finish in third and my final lap was 2 seconds quicker than laps 2 and 4. The RS01 is a great car for qualifying, but a tricky car to race. It gets held up by slower cars where it is quick, and it struggles for pace where others are fast. But if you can get out in front or get clean track, it shines. Many racers have not liked Race B this week. They don't like the reverse nature of trial mounting or have complained of rowdy driving behaviour in turns 1 and 2, ruining their races. I've been fortunate as Race B has been kind to me this week. I've seen significant driver rating point increase in both my US and GB accounts. I've also had many clean races rewarded with clean race bonus. Let me know in the comments below what car you prefer here, if you like the reverse nature, and if you experienced dirty or clean races. Hope you enjoyed this video. I post occasionally, but feel free to, do the stuff, like, subscribe, all that. See you at the next race.